Richie, we talked a lot about being frustrated by some things on the offense. All right, let's leave this open. We don't have to agree here on everything, but I think we might. What are your thoughts on Florida State's defense against Clemson?
Disappointing. I thought the defensive line was very inconsistent, which was frustrating because I still to this day think we have a very good defensive line. They just didn't show up, and they lost contain. They let Cade Klubnik run around in ways that was very frustrating to me. Just watching the game last night and then again this morning, and it again frustrating. I guess that's the only word I can come up with. You talk about that 57-yard touchdown where Hussey runs into another defensive back, and Clemson's player just catches it and runs into the end zone. Like, what are we doing? I've been probably more so than most people an advocate of Adam Fuller, and I think I'm out. I think I'm done with him, and I hate that that's where I've come to at this point, but I think that's where I am.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you gave up what 29 points, and if I'd have told you before the game, hey, we're going to give up 29 points to Clemson in this game, you probably wouldn't have been like that upset just with that number. I think that's
the way it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. 29, like, okay, well, I could get by that. Like, that's not terrible. Until you really like kind of dive into what that was. And Clemson just Florida State's defense is so bad situationally. Like,
Yeah.
they gave up 29 points. Should have given up at the bare minimum, should have probably given up 35 if Clemson didn't, if you didn't have two great special teams plays. Your special team saved you 6 points.
Yep.
So really it should have been 35 in Doak. And Clemson also settled for 5 field goals? Is that right? Man, if one or two of those are touchdowns, this game gets really close to the 50s, right? Like, it's really close to being really uncomfortable. Like, it kind of felt good because you covered the closing spread. It kind of felt good because it was a 2-score game at the end, and you were even driving. You even had a chance to get a little closer. It let us say things like, oh man, if we just didn't have a couple of drops, or this didn't happen, that happened, like, this was a game, late. Not really, though, because Clemson did whatever they wanted.
It was never competitive.
Yeah. 500 total yards in Doak Campbell Stadium is absurd. Absolutely absurd. And they are so bad situationally. People got on Mike. Yeah, I tweeted about this. People got on Mike for the timeout call with like a little over a minute to go, 3rd and 14, and I even tweeted this, like, that is a good timeout call. You've got the team backed up within their own 15. You're down by multiple scores. You're going to get the ball around your own 50 if you get the stop. You've got timeouts. You need to play to win the game. You need to play aggressive to win the game. That's a good call by Mike Norvell. Unless your defensive coordinator is Adam Fuller, then it's a bad call by Mike Norvell because it cost you 3 points because your defense couldn't get off the field on 3rd and 14. And being somewhat facetious there, I still think Mike should have called that timeout. I still think it was the right call. You got to go out and execute. You got to put your players in the right position to get things. But a 3rd and 14 there where the other team is backed up way into their own territory and you give that up. Not only that, so that was a big one to me. Second, you cut the lead to 10, right? Like, you go down, score the pass to Amari, touchdown. You don't get the 2-point conversion, but you do cut it to 10. The next play, you give up a 50-yard run. Like, and I know that execution matters too. Like, the players matter too. But that is just so typical of an Adam Fuller defense for like all the excitement. Like, the stadium was on fire at that point and people were jacked and people were like, it was like, okay, well, I don't think we can win this, but like, we just cut it to 10 with 8 minutes left. Yeah. And for the next play, you to give up a 50-yard rush for whatever reason, right? Like, did you not realize they were about to start running the ball with an 8-point, a 10-point 2-score lead with, 8 minutes to go? Like, did you not realize that running was about to be their thing? That was infuriating. And again, that is very indicative of an Adam Fuller defense. The defense, I will say, to their credit, they bowed up a couple of times, or a few times. They bowed up and forced field goals. And so they played that bend, don't break BS that he loves to play. and let Clemson drive all over them all night. But it, I'm just telling you, it wasn't good. 500 yards is absurd in a game to give that much up to a Clemson offense that just frankly isn't that good. Like there's no chance they're that good. Guys were wide open all night. We mentioned how he doesn't know how to coach a zone, and so we don't play zone, and so it let Cade get off for like 70 rushing yards, and that includes sacks. Like he had well over 80 if you take the sacks out. It just insanely bad defense. And then you look at it, you're like, oh, well, it was just 29 points. But if you actually watch the game, if you don't just look at the box score, the defense was terrible. I'll get right back to chatting with Richie, but if you work in online marketing or maybe web development, you need a rock solid web host that you and your clients can always depend on. Rapid SEO Host is the best choice for industry pros who are serious about results. The Rapid SEO Host team has over 15 years of experience providing lightning fast load times, marketing expertise, and responsive, personalized service that helps their customers beat out the competition. It's because they're SEO specialists, which is right there in the name, that they know how to boost your Google rankings, which is going to get your clients' websites seen by more people. Sign up with Rapid SEO Host's affiliate program and you'll get paid to host your own websites with them. There's no expiration date on that either. They even have maintenance packages and marketing packages that put their expertise at your fingertips to boost what your business can do. Make Rapid SEO Host your partner and start taking your business to the next level. Sign up now at the link in the description.
Yeah, no, they were. And to your point, the bend don't break. It's frustrating because the defense did, kind of do their job for the most part, but uh, just a frustrating game, man. Like, again, I watched it this morning and just seeing what I saw, you see that defense and they just do not do their part, so to speak. Granted, the offense isn't doing their part either. And again, I want to make clear that's not Brock Glenn's fault. I'm a huge Brock Glenn fan, and I'm very happy that he will be our quarterback moving forward. But man, that defense was just frustrating. And when you have the personnel, you have potentially, at least three first or second day draft picks on that defensive line, DJ. It's ridiculous that they cannot create havoc that we want to see. And this is where we are right now. And it's fine. Like, we'll move forward. But man, it really is frustrating.
I have thoughts on the bend don't break, and here's the biggest concern I have with it. It'll probably work against Duke. Like I think you'll hold Duke to less points than you did.
Great. We'll beat Duke.
Yeah. It'll probably work against UNC too. And it might even work against Florida. I don't think you beat Florida, but it might work in theory. I'll tell you where it's not going to work is down in South Florida.
Like, no. Miami's going to kill us.
Yeah. Miami will not, because they have a better quarterback than Clemson does. And are there paths and avenues to beat Miami? Yes. Like they've shown the last 2 weeks that they're beatable if the ACC doesn't bail them out. But I do think that Miami has a much better quarterback. I think that that's going to be a lot of trouble if that's the way we try and play against them. If Clemson can go for 500 yards, and I think Dabo was, I don't know if he was like just being nice, or not. He didn't seem to like go for the throat, like maybe thought he would, maybe just, wanted to get out of Tallahassee with a win and move on. But I'll tell you who's not going to be nice. Mario remembers 45-3, right? Like he remembers that, and he will run it up because he is a jerk and he is an a-hole like that. And so just get ready. So that worries me. The bend don't break stuff worries me a ton. Like Cam will convert on those. They ain't going to be kicking 5 field goals. If we hold Miami to 5 field goal attempts, we're going to win the game. I don't really think that, but like that's like, I'll back off that. But yeah, and it comes down to, at the end of the day, it's like everything else. Like just you take on the personality of your coach, and where's the fire, man? Where's the intensity? Do you see who was it? Farmer? Was it Josh Farmer or Jackson? One of them coming off the field, like yelling at Fuller, and it's tough to tell exactly what he was saying, but it looks like they were having a disagreement. And Mike literally watched him yell at him and then just kind of like turned his head and walked away. I don't know if that's because Mike knows that he's going to be gone in 6 games or what, but man, just absolutely insane that I don't even think they like. I don't think he's getting through to him. I don't. There's something about this defense that they're not getting the messaging through to these kids.
He's not getting through to this team, and that's concerning. But again, the season is over. Nothing positive is going to happen out of this season. I hope I see a resurgence next year. If we don't, man, we got ourselves in a pickle right now.